I'm absolutely right on time today. Shocking. Give everyone a second to jump on. And we're gonna jump right into it because I don't want to run out of time. So I am Susan with the Withered Barn, and welcome to the DIY paint page. Tonight's live, we're going to transform a previously loved denim shirt into one of the new trendy styles with the design on it. And I'm going to be using DIY paint and the JRV Stencils by Jamie Ray Vintage. And the one I chose, can you guys see this? This is the one I chose. So it's American Mills. And I'm not even sure what that is. Maybe a flour sack? If she's on, maybe she can let me know. Hi, Christy, how are you? But this is what we're gonna stencil with. And I have to tell you, I have not stenciled on fabric, ever. I always stamp on fabric. So this will be my first time. And I kind of went back and checked out Jamie's page, and I think we can do this. So the previously loved denim shirt is right here. And I found this for $2 at the thrift store. And look it's already got the awesome bedazzling on it. Do you guys remember bedazzling? Hi Kim, how are you? I think anybody who grew up in the 80s bedazzled something. You can't hear me at all, Carolyn? Can anyone else hear me? Let me stop a second, because if you can't hear me, it's no good. Anybody else? Hi, Diane. If you guys can hear me, everybody start shouting, I can hear you. Hello, hello. Yes, Tracy, you can hear me. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my denim shirt backwards because that's where I want to put my design right here. Let me see if I can scoot back just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and open up my stencil. And if you haven't used stencils, they're reusable. You just wipe them down. They're made out of a heavy-duty acetate. And I actually went crazy. I do this a lot when I go to the thrift store and I see how, the prices are so good and I just can't help myself. I start grabbing and grabbing before I know it. I've got a whole arm full of clothes that I want to upstyle. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this flat and kind of center it here just a little bit. Now let me apologize because we're on a farm and it's harvest season. So you're gonna hear semis going back and forth, and sometimes they don't know how to go down this little tiny hill at our house. They'll use their Jake brakes. It drives me nuts. Okay, so now, do I want to tape it? I think I'm going to use some of the stencil adhesive just on the stencil itself to lay it down. There's glitter on my fabric, guys. There we go. Okay, make sure I got it the right way, this way. I don't need it super sticky, but maybe this will help it not to slide so much. And if you guys have stenciled on fabric, I'd love to hear your stories. All the things that went wonderful and the things that went wrong, because someone can learn from your experience. Okay, I think that's down. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of tape too, just to make sure. Oh, my thing keeps falling. Just to make sure we don't slide around. And I'm not worried about it turning out like so crisp. I want it to look washed and vintagey. I'm good with that. Okay. And if this works, I've got, like I told you, a whole handful of awesome pre-loved shirts to work on. Okay, I don't think I need to do that. Nope. Okay. Looks like it's down. It's on there pretty good. This stencil adhesive is just from Hobby Lobby. It's just a regular old, whatever they had on their shelf is what I grabbed. And again, it's a stencil from JRV Stencils, which is Jamie Ray Vintage Stencils. And I am going to, let me get my, I don't want to get it on my shirt. Okay, I've got white Swan is what we're going to use. And I'm actually going to add in a little bit of clear liquid patina. That's me trying to open my can. So I'm going to put a little bit of white Swan on my plate. Not a lot, because it goes a long way when you're doing the stenciling. Right there. Can you guys see that one? There we go. Scoot over. And the reason I'm going to add a little bit of the liquid patina, and this is just clear, it's not going to dilute the color at all, but it's going to help it soak into the fabric a little more when I heat it up to heat set it. Let me grab my little popsicle stick. Okay, so I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. Okay, that looks good. I have a squirt bottle somewhere. Okay, I've got my little flat stencil brush, and I've already spilled some. I'm going to dab it in there, but then I'm going to offload it because I don't want so much that it seeps under my design, all these little cutouts. I'd rather go over it more rather than globbing it on and having it seep under. And I'm going to go straight up and down. So far so good. This seems pretty easy. I do have my iron heated up, ready to go to heat set the paint. And that sets that color into there. Okay, let's go hit these little words. We will be getting in some of the JRV Stencil brushes for the stencils. But look at the pigment in the DIY paint. It's awesome. Even though I diluted it, it's still so rich. Maybe I want to do a little bit of the, what's it called, the splatter. Hi, Suzanne. Suzanne, you're in Michigan. What is the weather like there? I watch the weather every single morning on the Today Show, and it just amazes me. I mean, really, we're not all that far away, if you think about it, but how different the weather is, like from back east to here in Idaho to Michigan. And I can tell right now, I should have put a board under here because I have this is two planks on my table. So it's got that little crease, and I can see the crease right here when I'm dabbing. So note to self, put a board under it if I'm working on an uneven surface. Do you guys have pumpkin patches in your area started up? I think they've all started now, right? I think. I keep watching all of them. Cool 50s today. Hi Heather from Canada. Our weather today in Idaho, it started out cold and misty, like mist in the air. And then about 2 o'clock it rained, and now it's sunny and the sun's getting ready to go down. But it was perfect pumpkin patch weather. We've got a pumpkin patch going on, so every time I think no one's gonna come out in this weather, it's horrible weather, is the day that everyone shows up. I want to make sure I've got little tiny lines right here, so I want to make sure I get those. But you guys, this is going to be so cute. So cute! Okay. And when I'm all done with the video, I will put my, I started adding my instructions to the video too, and the supplies that I used for you, because it's a little easier, I think. I like it when people do that. Does anybody know, have they heard of American Mills before? I'm curious. I should have Googled it before we started so I knew what it was. Maybe it's feed, maybe? Animal feed? Hi, Terry Ann. Okay, one more word. And I want to actually add a little bit of golden ticket on top of this too. Just to kind of age it a little more. Or at least I think that's what it'll do. I like anything with sparkles, so golden ticket it is. Oops. That's what I get for doing the cheap brushes. The little hairs come out. Okay. Just a little more. Have any of you used the JRV Stencils yet? Hi, Debs. Deb's from Maryland. How are you doing today? It's a fabulous Friday. I get the most things done on Fridays. I'm not quite sure why. I'm moving it across my that seam again. I'm not sure why I get more done on Fridays, but I do. Or maybe it's just in my head that I get more done on Fridays. You can see I still have a lot of paint left. Carrie, these stencils are JRV Stencil Co. These are by Jamie Ray Vintage, and a lot of the DIY retailers carry these as well. I carry these at my store. And no, I'm not using fabric paint. I'm using DIY clay-based paint. And I'm using White Swan is what I'm using. This one, White Swan. And I added just a little bit of clear liquid patina in it, just to get a little more staying power because it will, once I heat set it, it will fade out a little bit, which I'm good with because I like that look. But I wanted a little bit more staying power, so I added a little bit of the liquid patina, which is a water-based sealer, basically. Sandra, don't you love it? The new colors they're right here. Right here. So here they are: Blue Iris, Aviary, Firestarter, Water Lily, Monet's Garden, Liquid Sunshine, Salty Kiss, Cherry Pit, Tarnished Pearl, Olden Gray, Barnwood Patina. We have the new brush cleaner. You stick it in there and you swirl your brush around. It's got a little screen in there to clean it really good. Then you rinse it, air dry it. And then we have the aging dust, white and a dark aging dust. Okay, this looks pretty good. Okay, so you can see I didn't use hardly any paint. It's gonna go a long way. But I wanna add a little bit of gold to my leaves here. So I'm gonna use the golden ticket. Let me get a different plate. Put that one away. So I'm gonna use some golden ticket. And I'm gonna use my same brush. Where did I just set that? Okay. Only have the grain sacks. Yes, the grain sack stencil is awesome. It comes out so good and clear. Yep, Melissa, this is a stencil. I'll hold it up in just a second. I don't want to dip my brush in there. So now I'm going to add a little bit of the golden ticket, which you can see it's a shimmery gold sealant, water-based still. So it's going to give me a little bit of a metallic. Okay, I'm just going to barely daub it in there. I'm going to offload some. Okay, now I'm just going to go over that laurel leaf area. Maybe this center one too. Not super heavy. I just want a little bit. And then we'll get this untaped. I think I'm going to put the laurel leaves on the front also. A little uneven on my color, so yeah, a little uneven. So let me get a little more. I think I'm going to do the center too. Okay. Let's take this off. Are you ready? Okay. I'm gonna take the tape first. Now, if I was in real time, I'd probably let this dry before I moved it, but I don't need to. I'm just afraid I'd fold it on itself. But for the sake of time, we're gonna move it now. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, let me set this aside because it's got paint on it. So let me show this to you. Look it, too cute, right? Now I think it's a little too crisp for me. I kind of wanted it faded more, so I think I'm gonna put some gold and some white speckles around it. I have used makeup sponges on tea towels, and it was a different kind of stencil. But I have some right here, but I think my the wording is so large, it would have taken me a long time to do the makeup brush. So I'm gonna add a little bit of speckles to it, I think. Let's see if I can get some, that's the technical term, speckles. Okay, just like that. Let me get I'm gonna use a popsicle stick. Where's my, right here. So I'm gonna use the paint I already had, get my squirt bottle, add a little bit of water. Okay, just to water it down so I can flick it a little better. I could have put the paint in a mister and sprayed the sides, but I don't want like a full-on mist. Okay. I really like it. Yes. Okay. Move this over here. It's not coming off very good. There we go. Now it doesn't look so crisp. I like that better. There, that looks good. Okay. Set that aside. I don't know if I want gold on. I don't think I want any gold. Speckles. Let me wipe my fingers off so I don't get it anywhere else. So I'm gonna hold it up for you. Yes, stencils by Jamie Ray Vintage. JRV Stencil Co. Right there. And we're using the DIY paint with it. And here it is. So there, I like that look better. It's not quite as crisp. It almost has like that designer look to it. Melissa, I am a retailer for the stencils. So you can get on my website, that's thewitheredbarn.com, W-I-T-H-E-R-D, barn.com. And I also have all the paints, the brushes, everything you need. Isn't that cute? So I'm gonna let this dry before I set it, but I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna set it. What I'll do to heat set this, once it's dry, I'm gonna take a little bit, you can use parchment paper, but I have brown craft paper on hand and this works perfect too. So either one will work. So you're gonna lay this on top of your design with a hot, dry iron, no steam, no steam. Use your dry iron, I'll lay it down this side, and you're gonna heat it until the entire design is nice and hot. And what you're doing is setting that paint into your fabric, okay? And then just wash it on cool, delicate cycle, and it's gonna look this good for a long time. I've done dish towels with the DIY paint and it's beautiful. Let dry and then heat set. The reason I'm gonna let it dry is because I've got these globs of paint that I want to keep on there as globs and I don't want to like smash them down. So yeah, I'm gonna let it dry and then I'm gonna heat set it with a dry iron. And like I said, parchment paper or the craft paper, a brown paper bag. Hi, Kenise, how are you? Miss you guys. You can use a brown paper bag. Just watch that you're not using a side that has ink because some of the ink may come off on your fabric. I've had that happen, or it'll come off on your iron. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one up. I'm gonna use this same laurel leaf. Can't flip it over yet because it's still wet, but I'm gonna use it right here. I'm gonna put a laurel leaf here and one on the other side. And I'll post the finished project as well. And I'm sure you'll catch me wearing it. There you guys go. How easy was that? Can you think of some amazing Christmas gifts you could be making, right? Some little kids' denim jackets, how cute. All right, you guys. So be sure to like the DIY paint page, head over to the Withered Barn page, and share some love. And you guys have a great weekend. Bye.